Today on To The Point, we have someone that you guys were all really excited. Everyone was sliding into my DMs. Yeah, it's Nia Sioux.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Welcome on into The Point with Kristyn Burtt, of course, presented by Dance Network and Popcorn Talk. We are so excited about today's guest. You guys have literally seen her grown up before your eyes. You're now 17 years old.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's Nia Sioux.
Why, hello there.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm so excited that you're here.
I'm ecstatic to be here.
Oh, good.
This is my first time in the new office. Well, it's not
The
so new
new
anymore,
office.
but
I know
it's new to me still.
We have been here, not the show To The Point, but the studios have been here since 2015. You remember back in the day when they were in the old, it was in a house. A lot of people don't know that.
It was in a house.
And when we would have guests.
It's hidden.
It's hidden, and it was hidden behind hedges. And I was doing So You Think You Can Dance at the time, and I would tell people, like, you're welcome to come. It is a house. I'm not leading you to your death. It is safe. I will meet you at the gate if that's, what needs to be done. But it was funny because I was always like, you're going to a house.
You're going to a house.
And you stranger danger stuff. When you come to LA, you always think like, I have to be going to a place that's proper and I'm safe and everything else.
Yeah.
So, but it's all good. Now we're here in the new studios. I didn't tell you this, but when I announced the other day that you were coming on, my DMs blew up. I was really, and this doesn't happen every week with every guest. And the number one thing people said to me, I love her. She was my favorite on Dance Moms.
That makes me so
You should feel really
happy.
good.
Like, that makes me feel really good.
The comments were so positive and so lovely. It was really nice. I was like, I'm feeling really good about my guests.
So sweet.
So sweet. Good. And you have so much going on. I've been able to do a couple set visits with you over the past couple years. And I feel like sometimes your story doesn't get told that much. You're doing all of this great work. And I was like, let's talk about all the work that you're doing. And I was making a list and I'm like, there's a lot more work than I realized.
It's crazy because sometimes if I'm not doing one project, I'm doing something else. And people are like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm up to this and I'm up to that. It just like feels like so much. And I forget about things sometimes.
You're like, I'm juggling a few projects here.
I'm juggling a few projects.
But you've been doing a lot with your YouTube channel, doing music and dance concept videos, which are really incredible. And watching the evolution of them has been really interesting because they're getting a little more mature. And I think that you really have found your tone and what you want to say in all of them. I really want to start with the one that you just released because I love Chloe and Maud Arnold.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah. So can we talk about Down and how this all came out? Because this was amazing.
Okay. So actually, this is so funny, but I recorded that cover like a year and a half ago. And just never released it.
Really?
Yeah, I covered it like a year and a half ago because the producer I was working with, he was like, oh, I already have this sound for this song that I've been working on. I just need someone to sing it. I was like, oh, cool. So I did it, and I loved it. And I think I wanted to do the video with Chloe and Maud. I wanted them to help me with the video. And our schedule is just always conflicted, like all the time.
They're
super
traveling
busy.
nonstop.
Oh, yeah. They're always working. So finally, we were like, oh, we have to do this. It's literally been over a year. We're like, we have to do this. So literally in December, we got together. We called up one of our friends that's not from out of town and told him to come in. Jabu, he's amazing too. He's an amazing tap dancer. And we had him come in to do the video with me. And Chloe was on set with me. And we were all just having a good time and finally came together.
That's so good. And of course, we all know Chloe Arnold, the Emmy-nominated Chloe Arnold. I followed her during Emmy season, and I was so excited for her.
Even one of the girls that was in that is in Syncopated Ladies, her group, Becca, she was the one who she was the videographer for the video.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
What I find about the Arnold sisters too is that they're very talented. They're very smart. Film trained people. They know
what they're doing
because they studied film, I believe, at Columbia.
Yeah, they did.
And I had Chloe on here last year, so you guys can go back and I'll link to it in the comments below.
Oh, they're my mentors as well. In case people are wondering, like Chloe and Maud Arnold.
How long
are
have
my
you
mentors.
known them?
how long have I known them
in your
for?
17 years?
In my 17 years. I feel like it's probably about 4 years. The first time I met them was at this screening for, I think it was called Tap World, and they were in it, and that was the first time I met them. I was in New York. I think it was about like
there's
4
a
years
documentary
ago.
out.
Yeah,
Tap
it's
World.
a documentary,
Yep.
and that was the first time I met them. They were like, "Oh, give me your number and stuff, and we'll try and catch up in LA because they go back and forth." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So did that. I was back finally. Whenever I was back in LA, I hit them up and was like, "Oh, I'm in LA. We should totally get together." And it just kind of worked out. It was like really late at night, and my mom and I went to the Cheesecake Factory with them, and we stayed until we like closed the Cheesecake Factory down.
I love that.
Yeah, it was so great, and like they have been such an amazing such amazing sisters to me.
Yeah.
It's just really nice to have that support group that I'm surrounded by.
You know what's interesting too, when Chloe was sitting across the table from me in that exact seat, she talked about how much Debbie Allen took her in and was her mentor. And by the way, if anyone didn't realize, when Chloe was nominated for the Emmy, Debbie threw a big party for her.
She did.
And made the most incredible speech that
It was amazing.
Did you go?
Oh, yeah, I was there. I was there.
Was bawling just looking at the video. It was so wonderful and sweet and heartfelt, because she does feel like her own, she's her proud mom, even though she's not technically her mom.
Right. But they've spent so much time together, and Debbie Allen really just helped her, helped shape her into the dancer that she is today.
And I think too, the one thing, you look at Debbie Allen, you look at Chloe and Maud as well, is that how well-rounded they are. They're not just dancers. They're not just choreographers. They're directors. They're producers. They are looking beyond. They're looking at the bigger picture,
right?
And what they can do in the industry and how they can make an impact.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
It is. It really is.
So I'm imagining, if they're your mentors, you're getting a lot out of it from them.
Oh yeah, I learned so much from them. I mean, I aspire to be like them one day. They're just killing it.
That's so good. You are almost 18. Your birthday's what, in June?
June 20th. I'm a little nervous. Okay, so I always say, I'm nervous, excited, scared, and frightened.
You're in a good place, though.
I'm in a good place, though, yeah.
And you're graduating from high school?
Actually, no. I'm just a junior this year.
You are?
Yeah, I still have one more year.
I thought you were graduating.
Everyone thinks that.
I was going to put you into college.
I know. I mean, soon, but I might try and finish school a little bit early next year, but that just depends. We'll see.
Right.
I'll try my best, but we'll see. No pressure, but I'm definitely gonna go to college after high school. Definitely. I don't know where I'm gonna go or what it's gonna be like, but I'm definitely going to go to college at some point in my life,
Yeah, and I think the great thing now about college is that there's so many flexible ways to do it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you do want to have the dorm experience, you could, of course, go off and do that.
Right.
Or if you want to do something and still work in the industry, there's plenty of people in the industry doing both. And maybe you don't carry a full course load, and maybe it takes you 6 years, but
I'm still doing it. I'm still learning.
Or maybe you go at 30. Who knows?
Who knows? But I always tell people, they're like, are you going to go to college? I'm like, oh, absolutely. I'm definitely going to go to college because, I'm never going to stop learning. That's just who I am. I love to learn. So I'm definitely going to go. Just don't know exactly when yet.
That's okay, though. I think, too, the model, because I remember when I graduated from high school, my parents were like, you're going to college. There's no gap year off. Yeah. There's no flexibility with that. But I think now people understand that sometimes going right out of high school is a little bit much. Sometimes you need a little bit of a break if you have a job or you want to do the military or you want to trade school, whatever it is.
Right, exactly.
And college sometimes isn't for everyone, and there's other ways to do it too.
There are.
So it's interesting. But I know your mother is very well educated, so I know she is.
My mom and dad both went to Ivy League schools. And I'm telling them, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be going to an Ivy League school, but that's the goal. But if not,
Would you think Columbia? Because obviously,
that's been my dream school for ever. But I don't know if I'll actually go, just because if you're going to Columbia, you have to be so committed. So I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be the route that I'm going to go into right now. But that is a a dream school of mine.
You could always do 2 years at one school and then go into Columbia and finish there.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The one nice thing, and I'll tell you, because I went to NYU.
Okay, that's such a good school too. That's a great one. Yeah.
I just actually wrote to my mentor because New York Times did an article about her. She's a great dance historian named Deborah Jowett. It's on my Twitter feed. You guys can see it. And I thought, I haven't talked to her in so long and she doesn't know what I'm doing. So I just, out of the blue, sent her an email at NYU. She responded within like an hour.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and she just said, I watched a bunch of your videos, and it was just really sweet to see.
That is really sweet.
Because, you go off and you graduate and everything. You never know how.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're going to remember these people, if they're going to remember you. But,
right.
But what I was going to say about New York City is that working in the industry, it's a great place to be able to kind of do both.
It is. And I love theater. Like, that's something that I've always loved and I've always wanted to do. I've done an off-Broadway show before.
Trip of Love.
Trip of Love. And that's just, New York is one of my favorite places to be. Like, honestly, it is. So I could totally see myself going to school in New York.
Well, you're a triple threat too. This is good news because in Broadway, I was just interviewing Warren Carlyle.
You have to do everything.
You have to do everything. And
especially singing.
Singing is super
acting,
important.
Yeah.
But the number one thing Warren told me, because he's doing Kiss Me Kate right now, and then he's going off and working with Hugh Jackman and directing his show. But he said the number one thing I'm looking for in dancers right now is good actors.
Yeah, that's so true.
He's like, I'm done. He's like, everyone's going to have good techniques, but he's like, I'm kind of done with just the technician that's kind of a robot. We know, we've seen it in the industry.
Yeah.
He's like
everyone can dance. Like, we all know, like,
yes.
because whenever it comes down to, like, the last thing, like, everyone's a good dancer. It's really just about who can act, sing, and then also just has the certain look that they're going for.
Right, but who's going to make you feel something? I think that's super important when everyone's kind of on a level playing field.
Right.
Say everyone can sing, if everyone can dance the same.
Yeah, it's just that one thing that makes you stand out and, like, the one person that can really connect with the audience.
It's important.
Yeah.
How did you get Trip of Love? Did you have to audition? Was it presented?
No, it was a direct book. I was like, what? Because I never went to a theater audition before, like, and they just called my manager, I guess, and they, like, surprised me with it. I actually started to cry because it was always my dream to, like, be in theater, and that was, like, a dream come true to me, and I loved every single second of it.
2016, so you were like 14 when you did it? Or out there?
I was
15?
I just had turned 15.
And I'm imagining most of the cast is adults.
Yeah, they're all adults. They were all adults.
And then walks Nia. I'm a direct book.
I know. I was nervous going into it because I was like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? Because I'm 15 years old and people have been doing this since, like, ever.
Since they were 3.
Yeah, since they were, like, 3 and, like, had been... Oh. So I walked in and, like, the sweetest people, and they were like, oh, they loved working with me, and I loved working with them, and the whole experience was just so amazing. I learned so much from that one experience alone. The
costumes were great. I know we pulled up one of the photos, just all 60s, and
it was pretty amazing.
That's the best way
I had
to
like
do
a
it.
17-second costume change.
Did you have a dresser that
Oh yeah.
you? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because in like 17 seconds is not a lot of time.
Right? It's not
Did
at
you
all.
ever have one of those nights where you didn't make it? Or
Oh yeah. There were a few of those. There were a few nights. There were a few nights. But then they had like an entrance, like if you didn't make that one, like there was another entrance for you to go on in case you didn't make it.
They needed a backup.
They needed a backup because not every time people can make it.
I love that. Did you run 8 shows a week like Broadway does, or was it 6? Sometimes it's a little
8
different.
shows a week. Yeah,
That's good,
Mondays
though.
off. Mm-hmm.
Monday's dark. Did you go and experience the city on those days when?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of press while I was there as well. Mm-hmm. So like I explored the city, but like I've been going to New York since I was like
itty bitty
because I've had family there that lives there in the Bronx. So like I'm not a New Yorker, but like when I'm in New York, I'm like I can kind of navigate myself, you know, in the Manhattan area kind of. I'm like
it's a grid.
Like yes and
it.
no. I mean, you probably wouldn't want to follow all my directions, but like I can get usually from one place to another.
The first time I ever took the subway, I needed to go uptown to Lincoln Center to go to the library to study for school, and I went downtown in a time when Brooklyn wasn't really what it is today.
Yeah.
I was like, where am I?
Yeah. You were like, oh my goodness.
And I'm like, I went downtown, I need to go uptown. But that's how you learn the subway. It's just by trial and error.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
Eventually.
Do you have a dream show you would love to do on Broadway?
Ooh, there's so many.
There's a lot of good ones.
Well, I've always, okay, so this is actually pretty exciting. I mean, I love the show Wicked, and I've seen it like 10 zillion times. And I've always was like, oh, I would love to be like Glenda or Alphaba one day, you know, that'd be so cool. And there's actually she just became, I forgot her name, but she just became the first Black Glinda on Broadway.
Oh yeah, I saw the news.
Yes, and I was like, that is so amazing. I was like, I want to see her in it. Like, that's just incredible. I'm like, that's like a dream role.
And that show just keeps going on and on.
On and on and on.
I saw, this is how long it's been around. I saw Kristen and Idina do it originally on Broadway.
You did?
I did.
Oh, how lucky.
I know.
How lucky.
I know Kristen China went through friends and stuff. So
okay, cool.
I was able to see it, but it was
That's
really pretty special.
amazing.
It was very special.
I've seen so many shows.
I'm sorry, what was that? Brittany Johnson. Thank you, Marissa. I was like...
Thank you. I was like, what happened?
So Brittany Johnson is the new Elphaba, first person of color to play it, correct?
Well, Glinda.
Elphaba. I wonder if Elphaba has been played by anyone.
I wonder. Has Alphaba been?
I mean, Lindsay
We'll have to look
Mendez
that
has.
up.
She's Latina.
Well,
I do
okay,
know
then,
that.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So some person of color then.
Has,
yeah.
definitely played Elphaba. I'm like,
That's
interesting.
good.
Well, I love that. I love that
Yeah.
they're open to that because I think it's really important.
Yeah, I think it's really important that people see that because I always thought growing up like, oh, like I would love to be Glinda, but that would never happen because, you know, I'm not blonde, you know, like that would never happen.
Right.
Yeah.
But theater's done I think a better job of being sort
Just
of
look at
colorblind.
Hamilton. Like,
exactly. But you're an actor and you're just there. If you can play the role and hit what they need, you know what? We're supposed to be using our imaginations.
that's
too
why I
on
love
things.
theater because you can, in acting as well, like film and television. I mean, there needs to be more of that in film and television.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why I love just acting in general because you can literally be whoever and it doesn't really matter what you look like. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you're like short, tall, you know,
right?
It doesn't matter what color
right
you
for the
are
role.
if you're right for the role, like, and that's like it can be so diverse, you know.
Yeah, and I think TV's starting to catch on a lot quicker than film for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe just because you've got certain. Now we have a lot of female showrunners and things like that are sort of helping to change the game. Female writers, everything else, female directors. We need more of you out there hired.
So many.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting, and writers' rooms are shifting where they're finally saying it's not just a bunch of white men. It is a huge diverse group,
right?
And many voices are heard. LGBTQ community being
exactly
heard. So important. I love that. Chicago, you could always do Chicago.
I saw
right?
Brandy in Chicago.
You did.
She was amazing.
She was really talented.
Yeah.
I
saw Ben Platt in Dear Evan Hansen, and I think I can die happy now.
I'm jealous that you were able to see that because that was a performance of a lifetime.
That was my birthday gift from my manager last year.
Good.
Wait, was that last year? Yeah, last year.
That's a good birthday gift.
Was it last year? No.
It might have
the
been
year
2 years
before.
ago, yeah.
The year before. There we go. I was like, last year. Wait, that's a little
He's got
off.
an album and concert tour. You going to his concert tour?
I didn't know he had a concert tour. Oh, I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, I know.
I've been listening to his music, though. It's really good.
He's super talented. His dad is the one, Mark Platt, who owns Wicked, by the way. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Mark Platt.
How did I not know this?
I'm here to inform. So Mark Platt is, he owns a lot of properties and does Broadway producing. He's done a lot of the live musicals that NBC has done and things like that. Just did Rent Live.
Right.
And his son Jonah's been in Wicked, got to play Fiyero.
Oh,
I know.
Oh, yeah. I did know
married
that.
to Courtney.
I did know that.
Courtney Galliano from So You Think You Can Dance, who just had a baby. So congratulations. They just had a baby boy.
That's
so,
amazing.
I know. So all these weird little ties to the community. So
Such a small world.
It really is. It really is. So I don't know. Work your way into the platform.
Hey!
Need to either be in Wicked the movie or Wicked the show or Wicked the tour. You can go on national. Your mom will travel with you on national tour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No big deal. Although 18.
18.
Mom, are you ready to let go? Holly is here, you guys. Your mom's not ready.
She's not ready.
No. Are you ready, though?
No.
You've had your mom by your side all the way through.
Yeah, no, I'm
You
not
guys are a
ready
good
yet.
team.
Thank you. We do make a pretty good team.
Do you have days though where you're just the two of you are like, enough? We've been traveling together for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had those
You
days.
have those because every time I see you guys, you guys get along really well.
We do.
Yeah.
You know, we do. We have a very special relationship with each other.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't seem to have the terrible teens of like the eye roll with the mom. Does she do the eye roll every once in a while?
Every once in a while.
Every once in
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it happens.
I did
but
love my mom. I was like, Mom.
but it's not like that much. There's no like slamming doors or anything.
Because you were raised well.
Well, thank you.
That's so good. That's so good.
Claps to you, Mom.
I know. Another thing that I really love is the fact that you have been working on Bold and the Beautiful, which is funny because it's the one other area I do randomly cover is soap. So I'm like, I was at the daytime Emmy celebration. I'm like, hey, Nia.
And I was like, oh, hello.
What are you doing there? Yeah. So how has that experience been? Because soaps... I will say that the actors work the hardest in the industry.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably some of the best trained in the industry.
Yeah.
If you guys went on set and watched how they worked, it's shocking and unbelievable and awe-inspiring.
Mm-hmm. It has been such an amazing experience. Just like pretty surreal for me, honestly, because anytime I get to go to set, I'm so excited. Like I love being on set and like I never want to leave.
And you're Emma the intern?
Yeah. I'm
at
Emma
Forrester Creations.
At Forrester Creations. I'm Emma the intern at Forrester Creations. Oh, look at that picture.
They're in yellow,
There
matching
I
the yellow
Oh
today.
yeah, matching the yellow today. But yeah, I've had a blast doing the show. It honestly is like a dream job in a way. And I enjoy it so much. I've learned so much from literally everyone. They really taken me under their wing and helped me become a better actress, and it's been amazing.
It really teaches you like how to find your mark, how to do things. You might only get one rehearsal and then you tape and that's it.
Yeah, that's all you get. Yeah.
Yes.
You get in there, you have like rehearsal, and it's not even for the actors, it's for cameras. So the actors have to rehearse outside of
you better know your lines.
You better know your lines and rehearse before you get there, because once you get there, you're filming basically.
Yeah, you better be on and ready to go.
Oh yeah, you have to be ready to go.
Yeah, because they've got like a very set time schedule.
They film 2 episodes a day. Yeah.
It's shocking to think about. I mean,
right?
It's a huge amount of material.
Like a shot or like a take or two. I mean, they've been like, if you need like another take, they'll definitely like
if you flub a line or something,
yeah,
it
they're
does
like,
happen.
okay, it does happen.
Yeah,
but
sometimes your mouth doesn't work, and you're like, I know this line, I just couldn't say it.
Exactly. And sometimes people have like pages and pages of like dialogue, and props to them who like have 10 pages just of themselves.
I don't know how they do it. I interviewed Deidre Hall, legendary, of course, from Days of Our Lives. And, you know, oftentimes she talks about when she has a big monologue and, you know, going through all those pages and going home after doing a heavy day of dialogue, then having to go home at night.
And learn a whole new one.
Yes.
And then the words start coming together and forming. And it's like, oh, wait.
You know, you're like, that was yesterday's pages.
That was yesterday's
not
pages.
Today.
Yeah.
So how often do you work? Because I think there's a lot of flexibility on Bold
yeah, there's
and
a lot of
Beautiful.
flexibility. So right now, there's a huge storyline going on right now, but I'm like not like
Someone died on Friday, everyone. If you haven't watched it, it is go Google it.
Go Google it.
Yeah.
But a lot has been happening on the show right now. I was actually just in last week, and they just had their 32nd anniversary party, which I attended on Friday night, and it was so much fun. But I know in like the summer, I had like a ton of dialogue in the summer, and also in the fall. So I've been like off a little bit right now since the storyline is crazy.
In a different direction.
In a different direction.
How far ahead is Bold and the Beautiful? Like, Days of Our Lives, they are 6 months ahead, which is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Did you know that?
I had no idea.
So sometimes we'll have, I'll go in and they do their big fan day, which is Day of Days. And you're like, okay, so where's your character going? And then they're like, what's happening on TV right now? And you're like, well, your character right now is having a baby. You know, they don't even know because they're too busy working 6 months out.
Exactly.
Are you guys working a couple weeks out or so?
Yeah, it's like a few, like probably like 3 or 4 weeks.
Not bad, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Can you imagine being
6 months?
and having to focus
Oh
on
my gosh.
not giving away spoilers? Because then I'd be like, oh, my character dies. You know what I mean? And then they're like,
6 months ahead.
Yep. Days is the only one that follows that schedule.
Okay, I was like, is this normal?
It is not normal. General Hospital doesn't do it, and neither does, obviously, Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
Just
Dance
Days.
Moms didn't even do that.
How far ahead were you guys on Dance Moms?
It always honestly just depended. I mean,
some seasons you guys were still filming.
Some seasons it actually was like 6 months, and some seasons we were still filming whenever it started to air. It was never
never a clear.
Yeah, it was never like anything pretty clear. It was always pretty random. It's pretty sporadic.
You get a phone call, tomorrow we're gonna film. Are you ready?
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Here we go. So do you have, just for finish up the Bold and Beautiful, do you have any big storyline coming yet or not yet? We have to hold it cold.
You have to wait and see. I'm still waiting.
You're still waiting, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Still waiting and seeing what they're going to come up with next.
All right. Another love story, maybe?
I mean, actually, that was really fun to do.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Love stories are fun, too.
They are fun.
Because here's what you know. In a soap, they only last for so long. And
Literally.
you have to go through the dramatic breakup.
Yeah, and there's usually like a triangle, like a love triangle. And it's
there's
pretty
always
fun.
a love triangle.
It's pretty fun.
It's good because, you never want your real life to play out that way.
Exactly. But it's fun to...
But if you can act it out.
But if you can act it out, I mean, as long as it's not real life.
You make all the mistakes on screen.
Exactly.
And then go, I will never do this in real life.
Yeah.
It's good life lessons. I like it. Mm-hmm. Someone I want to talk about because friend of both of ours, Kristin Mcquaid.
Yes.
So she's the one
Kristin.
that has brought me on set a couple times working together. Mm-hmm. How long have you known Kristin? Because I feel like this relationship goes back a long time.
Yeah. First time I met her was literally, I was still on Dance Moms. I can't remember which episode it was. I feel like it was... I don't even know what episodes. It goes
or what
probably...
season, yeah.
I don't even know what season. It was probably like 5... No, not 5. 4?
4, so you're...
6? Maybe season 6?
Somewhere between 4 and 6.
Somewhere between 4. No, not 4, because I was still in Pittsburgh at 4.
Okay,
I was
so
like, that's
5
not
or
it.
6,
so
maybe.
Probably like 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah. And, gosh, everything like mushes together. I'm like, I don't even know what year any of these were. But yeah, I've been working with Kristin for a while now. And she has just been such a blessing in my life. Always supporting me no matter what. Always brings out the best in me, whether it's just like in acting or dancing or performing. Mm-hmm. Like she's always just been there for me.
And what I love about Kristin is she's fun, she's colorful.
She is, but she gets her work done.
She does.
She's very good with that, and like she's such an amazing person to be around. Like her energy is just so great all the time.
And I was on set. I was like trying to list everything, but I'm like, okay, so I saw Walls Could Talk. Yes. And that was, I feel like it was right before Christmas.
Right before
2017, I think. And your mom and I were like hiding in the staircase while you guys were filming. But that was really fun. I felt like for you, this particular video was your real, like, coming out, like, I'm moving in a different direction. My journey's going this way. Is that how it kind of came about?
Pretty much, honestly. I started doing dance videos so basically on Dance Moms, a lot of people kept on, they kind of typecasted me in the way where they were like, you are a weak dancer, you're not as good as everyone else. And it was just like, that's complete like garbage. Like that like is not true at all. Mm-hmm. They just literally never show my good moments. They only show my bad moments, and they never even show me sometimes.
How did you not take that to heart? Because
it's hard because you start to think it sometimes. But while we're on the show, like literally on my off days, I would be in classes, in privates with people, taking different classes, making sure I was working out, making sure I was stretching, just like so many things. And like while people were off and like, doing other things, I was always like continuing to grow and improve.
You're like, I'm putting in the work here.
Yeah, so I wanted to show people that on my YouTube channel and like literally like make videos so people can see like I'm not a weak link. Like I'm a legit dancer. You just don't get to they just don't show me on
it's a
like,
reality
in that
show
light.
narrative, and which stinks, honestly. But yeah, and you have to show people not only are you a great dancer? But also, I don't believe the stuff that someone else is saying is the truth.
Exactly. So, and that's when Kristyn comes in and makes me look my very best. She helps me do all that because she helped me she did the shark video. That was the first thing she choreographed for me, I think, the shark video.
Oh my gosh.
And I loved that solo, like absolutely loved it. And I filmed it, put it on my YouTube channel, got great responses, great feedback, and continue to do it because it was just like working with her just always helped me with everything. She improved so much and is continuing to help me with my dance, move on with my dance training. I literally was with her like a few weeks ago and she was teaching me combinations so I could, keep up with my dancing, keep that muscle working,
It's important because sometimes if you don't use your choreography brain for a while and then you have to go in and learn a whole chunk, you're like, I can't retain anything now.
If you take a few months off of dancing and like you try and go back, it's kind of like it's not like anything else. Like even if you don't dance for like a week, you feel it the next time.
So painful.
It's so painful. It's so painful.
And 2 days after you've taken that class, you're still feeling it.
You're still feeling it. Yeah. So it's hard to take time off of dance, but whenever I'm in the studio, we always have such a great time and we always have such a good time creating new stuff. Wow. Yeah. Kristyn's very creative.
She is so creative. I even love the outfits she puts together.
Oh,
I'll look at her on Instagram. I'm like, I have trouble just putting on a black outfit and making it look cute. And she's got all these colors and patterns.
Her nails are always amazing too.
Yes, they are. Because mine are chipped. See, I am not, might have the same name as her, but I don't have the same creativity. You know what video I love that you did with her? Flexin'.
Oh,
that was a good one.
So great. That was so great.
That whole concept, the overall look, I just felt like
that concept she came up with was just like, I was like, this is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And the boys that were in it were so talented, and she really just put everything together and like, wow. Like that video was a low budget video, but she made it
looked expensive.
Yeah, and she made it look really good for, and I was
a nice price.
For a nice price. Yeah. So Kristyn can literally it's amazing.
She's
how
making
talented
diamonds.
she is.
She's making diamonds out of
making diamonds
when you have a lower budget. That's good. That's a good director to have.
Yeah, she's actually amazing. Like amazing person, work wise, inside and out as a person. Just she's a really good person.
And you all had the James Charles inspired palette. Now, Kristyn came up with this, or you came out together?
Kristyn. So she loves James Charles, and she was like, "You know him, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've met him a few times." She was like, "You know what we should do?" And she came up with this whole concept, and it was great.
Now, for anyone that doesn't know James Charles, he's a YouTube personality.
Oh yeah, how do you not know James Charles? Yeah.
I'm sure someone out there is like, I don't know who James Charles is.
Like, who is James Charles? Yeah, no, he's a YouTuber.
We've got the photo right up there with all the colors, and there's Kayla Radomski, there's Haley Payne. Both have been here on the show, and you. But it's fun to watch too because the colors get layered and layered.
It was so cool. Like that whole video that James did was so creative, and what Kristyn made into it was just like, wow, like you really did that. Like, how did you come up?
I know. The creative brain.
Like, honestly, she had this vision in her mind and she literally made it come to life.
I know. And I think, sometimes I'm always like, people watch what Kristyn is doing because she's really creating stuff that's outside the box. It's original and that's fresh. So
yes.
Anytime she has a video, I'm like, everyone watch this. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
Are you guys having anything in the works right now?
We might soon.
Something brewing.
We always like create new projects for ourselves.
Yeah, I feel like at least, every 6 months you've got something going on.
Absolutely. Kristyn and I, we're always working together. Like, we always love working together, so we always have something, like, have the ball moving on something. We're like, she's had some really cool ideas lately that hopefully we'll get to do. So
bring them to fruition.
Yep.
Yes. All right. We'll keep our eyes open. But if any of you haven't seen the videos, they're all up on your YouTube page, Nia Sioux.
Yeah. All up on my YouTube.
You can see them all. You can go back in the archives. And what I do like is that you have done so many, even just with Kristyn alone, you're seeing the growth too.
Oh yeah.
From the first one you guys did together.
You do see the growth. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like even now as a dancer, like I feel like I'm a totally different dancer than I was like 2 years ago. Yeah.
Where do you feel the most growth as a dancer?
I would definitely say with probably my confidence and also my movements. I feel like before, since I was on Dance Moms and on a competition team, everything was so structured. Right. I was really always dancing, like making sure everything was, trying to make everything look perfect, you know, everything so together and so almost mechanical in a way, kind of robotic. And I feel like I finally found like my kind of style of dancing.
Dance with freedom,
yeah,
right?
I finally feel like I dance with freedom and I use every movement in my body. It doesn't feel like anything's holding me back, really, because I feel like even a few years ago, like, it kind of still looked like stuff was holding me back as a dancer, you know? But since I've been off the show and, like, even now, I'm, like, I feel like I can, like, when you see me dance now, my movements are so much fuller, they're so much bigger, there's more, I don't know if this makes sense, organic.
Yeah, it feels organic.
You know?
I think because when it's
organic.
coming from here versus like I'm just gonna put it
right,
on
there's
here.
feeling behind it.
Yeah,
you know,
it does
because
have an organic
after
feel.
a while, whenever you're doing a new dance every single weekend, you don't get that. You know,
Right.
like you don't have that feeling in yourself anymore. Like you still love to dance, but it's not really dancing. You're just doing steps. You know. Now I feel like, oh wow, like I'm actually dancing. I'm actually like coming out of my shell.
That's great. And that's a wonderful place to be, too, because then dance is a lot more fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, wow. Even if, like, I'm at a place, like, at a hotel and there's, like, a dance competition going on, I get anxiety from that. I'm like, wow, that's, like...
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I was really thinking about, too, because you guys ushered in a craze. What you guys lived through, I mean, you created a whole generation of dancers now that are like, I have to compete and I want to be part of this.
It's crazy how young these dancers are that are doing insane things like with their bodies, like how flexible they are now, and it's actually insane. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is a whole new world now.
It's a whole new world. But it also makes me think too, because I was just watching World of Dance and Derek Piquet was on it, and he's under 30 and has to have a double hip replacement. And this is what I'm thinking about, all these itty bitties that are cranking beyond.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a bunch of 16-year-olds with hip replacements? You
Honestly,
know? It's scary, right?
It's kind of scary because even like us as dancers, I feel like all of us have had so many body issues, like
injuries
and like I've had a lot of like, I mean, fortunately I've never like broken anything, and I've never had to like have anything, or it doesn't look like I'm gonna have anything replaced. Thank God.
Knock wood.
Like knock on wood. But I've definitely had my experiences. Like I have back issues sometimes. I have a lot of foot issues. You know, like. It comes along with it.
It does come with the territory.
Every part of my body cracks, you know?
I know. I wake up and I crack my hips open. And that was from years of dance myself. But I always think, you know, people were getting hip replacements who were dancers for years in their 60s. And now we have, you know, someone that's 20. I don't know how old he is now, but let's just say he's 25. And I think he is someone that's always had incredible.
Absolutely. He's
beautiful.
So talented.
His work on World of Dance was beautiful. I'm sorry that he didn't make it to the next round because I love what he did. But it makes me think I worry about this current generation. But you also have ushered in so many opportunities, because I think Dancing with the Stars Juniors would never have happened if Dance Moms didn't exist. So you think the next generation wouldn't have existed without you guys.
Which is pretty crazy to think about, because
it's huge.
It's crazy because for me, I still don't realize sometimes how big the show was. Like it was a huge show, and still I'm just like, I think that's just says a lot about the girls that were on the show, because we were so like in our little bubble. Like we didn't like.
Was there one day where you finally go, huge. Oh, this is huge? I mean,
not really.
That's good.
I think the only time where I'm like, oh wow, like I guess it really was huge is whenever I get like invited to like a pretty cool event. I'm like, oh, and like I go there and like I have fans there. I'm like, okay. Right. That's pretty cool. Or like people a celebrity like comes up and was like, oh my gosh, I used to watch you on Dance Moms. I'm like, what? Like, what? But that kind of stuff.
Brad Pitt, you used to watch me on Dance Moms?
Well, I'm sure he wasn't watching.
You never know.
You never know. You never know.
People
but that kind of stuff was like, it's cool. That's the kind of stuff where I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, like I can't believe. Yeah, but it's something that I don't think about, honestly, because I'm like, I'm just a girl from Pittsburgh.
You guys did such a great job, moms especially, of really navigating what was obviously, no one had a roadmap for how successful this was going to be.
Oh, no.
And how this all played out. And I really admire you, and, you know, I see what Mackenzie and Maddie are doing, JoJo. You guys are great role models.
Thank
you. guys
you.
are like just killing it. And all these young girls look up to you so much. And you are not only like, you're, you know, talking the talk, but walking the walk. You're doing it all at the same time. And I think that is really important.
Thank you. I think all of us, we all have like gone in our different directions, like, you know, in like just with work and everything. And I think I'm just like really proud of all the girls for like doing what they're doing now. Like even Kendall, who's like doing like in Pittsburgh, like literally doing school. And like, I'm really proud of all of us, you know, like just still continuing to do stuff. And like, you know, all of us are on still like a really good path, you know?
And I think that's really important too, just showing that something brought you all together, and whether they're dancing or not dancing, it gave you tools for school and for life skills and things like that. And I think that's important because not everyone has to go out and be a professional dancer after they get out of high school and say, you know, I can't believe you're not dancing. You can do whatever you want.
Exactly, yeah. I think being on a show definitely equipped us for like, you know, life, you know. And I would say like, just me as a dancer, like I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm gonna go join a company or something. Right. But dancing will always be there, and it's always gonna be a part of me no matter what. So even though I'm not, you know, dancing in the public eye, I'm gonna always be dancing still.
It's a part of your story.
It's part of my story. So no matter what, like I'm always still gonna be dancing, even if I'm still like just doing acting and music, and you like never have seen me dance in like years. Like I'm still gonna be dancing, just not in like, maybe like as a profession, but I'm always going to love it. That's always something that's a part of me. And I'm always going to continue to grow with that.
And sometimes it brings you back to, I didn't think I'd be sitting here talking with dancers all the time after I kind of was like, I'm kind of done dancing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I like to write and I like to, you know, do reporting. And look at that. I now cover dance pretty much exclusively. So I get to tell all of your stories.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of Chloe and Maud, so I can't remember. It was a while ago. But I had like dinner with them. And I was talking to them. I was like, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be a dancer. I'm still going to dance from time to time. But like, it's just like, I'm not going to dance.
Right.
And they were like, Nia, like, you're a dancer. They're like, you don't meet anyone who's like, oh yeah, I'm so happy I quit dance. Like everyone's like,
it's still in you.
Yeah, it's still in you. They're like, everyone, you don't hear anyone that's like, oh yeah, I don't like to dance. Like everyone loves to dance. Everyone is going to always love dance.
You'll sneak into a class every once in a while. I'll jump into a ballet class and then I regret it because I'm sore. But I still, that feeling of
but they're the ones who are like, no, like Nia, you continue to dance. You continue to dance and you continue that because you love it. And I was like, wow, like that actually did help me like. They're like, you're going to use it for everything. They're like, you're going to use it with singing. You're going to use it with acting. They're like, you're going to use this in your life.
Movement, because actors who have great dance or movement training are usually the better actors because they know how to use their body. They're not awkward going, how am I going to grab this? And it's interesting. You kind of have more of a natural flow. And that sounds silly with the coffee cup, but you'll hear that a lot of the great actors, even men, had dance training way back in the day. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. You're going to be set and ready. I didn't know you did one of the Lithgow Pantos.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I saw you at the Pasadena one, which was the Wonderful Winter of Oz, I think. Yes, which was really fun.
I was going to go see Kenzie in it.
Yes. Now, that was the first time I had seen any of the Pantos.
Oh, really?
And it was so much fun. And really now fun. I'm a little envious that you got the opportunity.
Yeah,
you did Aladdin.
I did Aladdin, and it was in North Carolina. It was their first time doing it in North Carolina. I had a blast. It was so much fun. I learned a lot. Oh my gosh.
Okay, for people that don't know what a panto is, because this is kind of a British tradition brought here. Let's talk about this.
Okay, so the panto is a British tradition of theater, and it's an interactive theater where they talk to the audience, basically.
Fourth wall comes down.
Yeah, the fourth wall comes down, and the audience is basically its own character.
And you can hiss sometimes, like if the evil character.
If the evil character comes on, you go, boo! And, like, literally on stage. There's, like, it's not the normal.
Sometimes kids are brought up on stage to participate.
Yeah, kids are brought up on stage. They participate. It's pretty amazing.
It snowed when we saw The Wonderful Winter of Oz. Kermit the Frog sang The Rainbow Connection, and I just about lost it.
I think everyone lost it.
It was the most special thing. I didn't know it was on my bucket list, and it was. And
I know, right? I was like, I didn't realize that was on my bucket list until, like, it actually happened.
Kermit the Frog singing Rainbow Connection live. Check. Never forget that. That was really wonderful. So how many weeks did you do? Because if you were at the one in LA, it must have been shorter. Yeah.
So we had like 2.5 weeks of rehearsal.
Crazy.
And it was literally only for a weekend.
Oh, one weekend?
Yeah. It was like
it was quick.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wait. Was it Thursday too? Was it Thursday? It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
A nice long weekend.
A nice long weekend.
Who was your choreographer? They usually do some of you think.
Oh,
so you
what's his last name? His name is Mario. He was great. Like, I absolutely loved him. I wish I can think of his last name, but I can't right now.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But Mario, oh my gosh, he was great. I loved him. He was, I didn't actually get to do that much dancing. I was more singing, actually.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, that was a totally different experience for me because, I sing. Like, I'm a singer. I would definitely, like, I'm definitely a singer. But, like, I've never, like, performed live like that. It's totally different doing that every single night, performing, live.
And singing live in front of an audience, you get nervous.
You get nervous, and then also you're playing a character. It's not like I'm singing my own songs,
Right.
Like you're literally playing a character. So there's a lot you have to think about.
You got to think about the acting within the singing and storyline.
Like a live, not a whole orchestra, but there are,
There's orchestration,
yeah,
let's say
there's
that.
orchestration, yeah. It wasn't like, it was definitely live. It wasn't, just
you weren't lip syncing.
I wasn't lip syncing.
Let's not start rumors. Like, it was all me.
It was all me.
So were they testing me? I wonder if they were sort of testing the theater. And
I think so, because I think they were testing the theater, seeing if they would want more shows there and everything.
You'd do another one then, wouldn't you?
I probably would.
Yeah. I know a lot of people go back year after year and do it.
It's really fun. It's really fun.
And you can bring the whole family. That's the one thing that I thought
and like my whole family loved it whenever they saw it. They were like, wow, this is like a Broadway musical. I'm like, yeah.
It is. It is, and it's unexpected fun too, because we're not familiar with pantos here in the US unless maybe you've been over at holiday time in the UK and seen it.
It's so cool because even some of my fans that are like British, they're like, oh my gosh, you're doing a panto? And I'm like, oh yeah. And they were like, I used to love the panto when I was little.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it really is a part of
I
their
have a
culture.
Friend from England. He was just like, oh my gosh, you did a panto? That is so cool. He's like, I used to love going to those. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
They're so much fun.
Ben.
Who's Ben?
Oh my gosh. I have my whole friend group, and he's just one of the guys in my friend group.
You looked at Holly, so I was like, who's Ben?
Oh, the guy who was...
There was an exchange between mom and daughter, so I was like, Ben.
No, he's a really nice person. He's a really nice person. He has the best accent.
I know there's nothing better than a great British accent. Or I was actually over in Denmark a couple weeks ago, and everyone was like, I love your accent. I'm like, I don't have an accent, but
but okay.
I was talking with someone who was from France, so I guess they thought
You're
I had
like, I love your accent.
I'm like, I love your accent. But we had this big argument. I'm like, your accent's beautiful.
I feel like it's kind of funny though, because I feel like people that are out of the country or like have an accent, they're probably like, oh, you don't sound like an American, because they might like think it's you're Southern or something, or like everyone sounds like has like a Southern accent or something.
Well, and I'm from Boston, and Boston clearly has an accent, but I don't have a New England accent.
New York, I don't know what to say, New York accent.
Yes.
They're like, you're having an accent. I'm like, I mean, not really.
Not really.
I don't really have an accent, not compared to like other people.
I know. It's just so funny. I'm like, I'm in Europe, so I guess I have an accent. And I just have to accept that. You got to go to the Olympics.
Yes.
That is one of my dreams, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
It was
You're in Pyeongchang, right?
Pyeongchang, yeah.
Yes.
It was pretty amazing.
Musically took you there? Or?
Musically, yeah.
Yes.
Which is not TikTok. But it was one of the best experiences of my life. I was freezing my butt off because it was freezing cold there. Like, it was freezing. I walked outside and it was like, I was cold after I was wearing like 2 pairs of leggings like underneath my jeans, had like 2 pairs of socks on with my Olympics. Oh no.
You were not enjoying
Rio. And then like once it was freezing outside, and then once you get inside, it's super hot, and you would have all your stuff on, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to take this off, I'm dying. But it was really fun though. Like, it was
what
so
events
cool.
did you get to see any of the figure skating? Because that is
I saw the figure skating. As soon as I got there, I started calling it ice skating. They're like, it's not ice skating, it's figure skating
because it's
like,
artistic.
Sorry. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm sorry, figure skating. So
did you see anyone win a medal? Did you see any medal rounds?
Oh yeah, we saw a ton of medal rounds. Figure skating. We saw shuffle.
Curling?
Yeah, curling. I was like, what? Shuffleboard. They'd be so mad at me.
Shuffleboard on ice, also known as curling.
Curling.
That's great.
We saw speed skating, and then we saw. Was it like freestyle skiing or something?
Where they flip?
They
do the jump and then they flip.
It was pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get to see any snowboarding though.
Shaun White, he's so good.
I know.
I just watched a documentary on him, and he's really amazing with what he's able to do.
Yeah,
over multiple Olympics. By the way.
Yeah, exactly. The guy that was with Ross Smith, he got to meet him. He like went to the snowboarding event, and he got to meet him.
And you were jealous.
I was a little jealous.
That would be the Instagram photo that I needed. You know?
Yeah, I know, right? But I was like, it's cool.
You're like, I'm not going to worry about it.
I'm not going to worry about it.
I know that would be me too. If I went to the Summer Olympics and met Simone Biles, I might lose it.
I've met her before while she was on Dancing with the Stars. Yes. I met her there. And she was really cool.
She's the GOAT.
Yeah, and I used to and like Gabby Douglas was like my such a huge
London.
Fan of her.
I mean, she did London and Rio because she's that good.
Oh,
but
yeah.
London was her big Olympics.
And like I met her at like my second Teen Choice Awards that I went to, and I started to cry. I was like,
I would understand that. Yeah.
I met Lori Hernandez.
Adorable. I love Lori.
And I don't think I've ever met Ali Reisman, but I have. She sent me some of her leotards one time, and like I was in
her
heaven.
GK Elite.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like she sent me her leotards, and she even like wrote like a little. She sent me some of her pictures signed, and she even wrote me like a note, and I have it. I have it all of that still.
I have it framed.
Mm-hmm. It's like on my where like my dresser on like the mirror, and I have it like all up there. Like it's so cool, and I wake up every morning and I see it. It's in Pittsburgh. I didn't bring it out here. I was like, I'm not damaging this. I'm like, this stays in Pittsburgh.
It's safe and sound in Pittsburgh. Yeah,
but it was so cool.
I'm always in awe of gymnasts. They are incredible. They're inspiring.
Talk about an athlete. Like
I know when people say they're not athletes, I'm like, do you watch
them? Do you see those muscles?
I know.
Like, yes, they're
abs.
athletes.
It's an 8-pack. It's not even a 6-pack.
Not even an 8-pack. It's like a 10-pack. Like, those people, those girls are super, super fit.
And the men do the iron cross with their biceps. And oh, gosh. It's hard work, too.
It's hard work. I'm like, how do you do that?
I don't know.
How does one do that?
I know. I sit there and I think, like, even in my hardest days in the dance studio, I'm like, I don't think I worked as hard as those Olympians
right? I'm like,
do.
wow.
Because they're doing conditioning and they have to do dance and they have to, then do their
all
tricks.
All the
time. And you need to be, in most cases, you need to be good on 4 events. If you're going to be an all-around. Yeah. If you're a specialist, it's different. But it's one of those that, and then coming back, like Ali and Gabby are like, I'll show you. I'll come back for a second Olympics. That's not easy.
It's not easy.
Is
Ali doing it next year too?
She's
not next year, but she's done. Okay, cool.
She's done, I believe. But of course, Simone, my goat. I was
because that was her first one last time.
Yep. So she's coming back for 2020. In fact,
that's exciting.
She just did Stuttgart. There's no one that can touch her right now. As long as she stays healthy, she's got another gold ahead of her.
That's amazing.
It's kind of unprecedented. I think the last all-around gymnast.
I'm like, how does she feel?
I don't know. She seems very humble. I think that I feel like her family keeps her like really grounded, and she's another smart cookie. And if she does accomplish this, if she does get the gold, I think it's been like 60 years since another gymnast did back-to-back Olympics and won a gold in the all-around. Wow. If she does that. I know. I want to see it.
Wow. We'll be watching.
I know. Let's get Musical.ly to take us to Tokyo.
Yes!
I will go. They're going to be like, what?
TikTok, hit me up.
Anything.
You know, I'll be there.
Anything. Amazing. Well, it has been such a treat to have you here and just talk about, because I see you working out there all the time, and I just wanted everyone just to see what's happening behind the scenes.
Thank you. I had a great time. This was awesome.
Good.
This was really awesome.
Good. I'm glad. And I hope to see you on your next set, whatever you and Kristin are cooking up.
I know. I'm really excited. I have some fun stuff coming up. Like I did
anything you can tease?
Oh,
are you still filming right now? Because you were doing a film, right?
Was it? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I literally did a film before the year.
I'm like, that's announced. It's on IMDb.
I did a film called The Code last year, like literally at the end of last year.
Sci-fi, right?
Sci-fi.
Cool.
And then when I got back, I did a show for Nickelodeon on their YouTube channel. Which is pretty cool.
Fun.
Yeah, and I might have some more stuff working on.
What's the Nickelodeon show? Can everyone see it already?
Oh yeah, it's up on YouTube. It's called Nia Sioux Slumber Party.
Oh, who did you invite to your slumber party?
Sophie Dossi.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah, there's 4 episodes up.
Did they let you invite whomever you wanted?
Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm.
That's a dream project.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty much a dream project. And my mom and I came up with the concept, and we went in with it, and we're like, oh, we have this concept, and they loved it. So it was pretty cool.
Did you get a producer credit?
Actually, I don't know.
We'll work on that.
We'll work on that.
Because technically, if you're coming with
we'll work on it.
Yeah, because technically, if you're coming up with the concept, you're a producer.
Wow.
Yep.
Look at me.
Check that. I'll be your agent. I'll be like, she needs a producer credit.
But we had a woman director on it because they were like, who else would do this better than a woman at a slumber party?
Right.
Like, it's kind of weird to have a guy directing.
Because how many lady slumber parties has he attended? I'm like, when he was a kid, nobody.
Yeah. So it was really awesome to have a woman director as well. So just the whole thing was pretty awesome. And I've done some other, like, I'm hoping, there's some things in the works.
Things in the works. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Well, you'll have to keep us posted. You are welcome back in the seat anytime.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, we'll keep the seat open for you. Or maybe we'll bring you and Chloe together.
Ooh.
There's an episode, right?
There's an episode.
Mm-hmm. I like that. All right. If anyone's I don't know how they're not following you on social media, but where can everyone find you?
At Nia Sioux everywhere.
Straight across the board, including YouTube. Yep. So, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, we will be back next week. And a lot of you do know this, so I will tell you who it is. It is executive producer for So You Think You Can Dance, Jeff Thacker.
Ooh.
He invited himself on this show. So
He did. Wow, what an icon.
I was so flattered. I was floored. I had an email while I was driving, and I had to pull over because I almost had a heart attack and an accident because I was like, what? So we will have a really interesting episode next week, kind of get behind the scenes look of So You Think You Can Dance, especially as we move into season 16. And we want to thank Dance Network, of course, for all of your dance news. Visit dancenetwork.tv and, of course, Popcorn Talk. We'll see you all next week.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.